Hey, it's Chuck Mayer. It's Wednesday again. I was actually wondering from last week to this week, you know, what am I going to keep talking about on every Wednesday? And then I realized this is Fishy Business, and every Wednesday things change. This Wednesday is no different. In the time that we last shot a video and we were last talking, a bunch of stuff has changed, and I want to take you through some of those changes, and you can kind of see what's happening here at Fishy Business. We're not going to get too far into the store to where I show you this little guy. We got in stingrays, freshwater stingrays. These guys are absolutely fascinating, and you can see they're in with rainbows, which are a river fish. Yeah, they're in a big tank, but these are the smallest stingrays we've gotten in within at least the last year. Stingrays are really cool, and they're, I think, as close to a saltwater fish or animal as you're going to get in a freshwater tank. So we got 3 of these little guys, and I don't know what the availability is going to be in the coming weeks, but we got them. They're worth coming to see. Not getting even much further into the store, we got more wood. Last week I showed you some wood that we had gotten in for freshwater tanks. It pales into comparison to what we have this week. Absolutely fantastic spider wood. The natural sculpture of these guys look like all kind of little monsters from all kind of science fiction things. They're absolutely fantastic in a tank. You can do so many different things with live plants in a design with these pieces of wood. The spider wood is fantastic. Every piece is unique. There's tons of new rock to decorate that's in here. We haven't even gotten into it yet. We have not even literally put out one piece yet. We've gotten as far as ripping the top off of these. Cool, absolutely cool pieces of driftwood. Fantastic. Check out this piece. I mean, if that was sitting alone, you know, in a 40 breeder or something like that, absolutely fantastic from every angle that you can look at it. Live plants coming up in the seams, absolutely would make a fantastic, fantastic display. So we'll see if we can actually make it a little bit further in the store. Seawater back in stock. Tanks coming in constantly. We haven't even gotten a chance to price everything yet. The BioCubes are starting to go, if you remember from last week's video. We have a ton of these BioCubes right now. Best way to start a saltwater tank. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, if you've never gotten into saltwater before, this is a fantastic introductory way to get into saltwater. We finally got both the Seachem gravel and the stratum gravel from Fluval. All of this is plant gravel. It's a laterite based substance that is absolutely fantastic for doing live plants and setting your base. So if you're thinking about doing live plants, contemplating it, or wanting to redo your tank, this is where it begins. This is a way to feed your live plants for the initial start. Beautiful, beautiful way to set up your tanks. We got in plants. Last week when we shot the video, we did not have our new shipment of plants. Kevin got in a plethora of plants. Angelfish. And I want to show you some of what came in the fish department this week. Oh, right over here. Rainbow gobies. We haven't had these in the past. This is a newer fish for us to have in stock in any kind of quantity. These are great community fish. They're a goby. They live on the bottom. They'll eat leftover food, which is great. If you're heavy-handed, if you feed a lot of food to your fish and you tend to have leftover food, while we do recommend that you get it out of there, these little fish will go along the bottom and take care of whatever you don't get out. They're a really cool looking fish. They're different, yet they pose no threat to any of your community fish. Needlefish, right here, beautiful, cool, different fish. Geophagus surinamensis. Geophagus are a great fish. They're a beautiful cichlid that gets fairly large, yet they're not a very aggressive cichlid. So they're a great statement maker if you have a community tank. You can actually throw a Geophagus in there. There's several different types, Jurapari, surinamensis, balzani. Lots of different species. They're very colorful cichlid, but they're great in a community tank to add pop because they're so big. So yeah, so that's a fish that would be fantastic. If you come with me over here, back in stock, we haven't had them in a couple of weeks, arowanas. Silver arowanas, absolutely stunning statement maker fish if you've got a semi-aggressive tank or a tank of big fish. This fish spends most of its time on the top of the water. It does get very big very fast, so you need to consider the size tank you have. But if you're one of those people who has a larger freshwater tank and want to really make a statement, an arowana is a very good way to do it. It's a very different fish, feeds off the top. In the wild, they literally jump and catch birds out of trees. But these are great, and I've got, I think, 3, maybe 4 of them right now. I think I got 3 of them today. So along with the stingrays, fantastic new fish that we haven't had in a while. Rainbows did come in last week. They weren't available to be shown in the last video, but I've got a lot of beautiful rainbows back in stock. Guess what else we got in this week? A lot of you have been asking about this. We've gotten a lot of shout outs on Facebook. I don't know if they'll eat yet, but we got the bumblebee puffers. The little pea puffers are right here. And while they are not a great communal fish, you can set up a tank for them. They're tiny little freshwater, totally freshwater, non-brackish puffers. Excellent for a species only tank. Some of these small nano tanks, just to have a little statement maker on your desk or on a nightstand, if you're one of those people that likes to have aquariums all around you, the puffers are absolutely fantastic for that. They're so cool. Clown knives and the polypterus we have in stock. These guys, especially right here, absolutely phenomenal looking fish. Something very different, very prehistoric looking. They're great, and they can go with other fish. If you've got like a semi-aggressive tank, this guy moving along the bottom, it's a cross between a dinosaur, a crocodile, and a fish, it kind of looks like. But they're not an overly aggressive fish like an African cichlid or something like that. Primarily a bottom dweller. There are lots of different polypterus, but absolutely fantastic. Let's see, what else came in today? We've got a lot of big fish in right now. Large Oscars, again, going back to some of you guys who have the larger tanks. We have a large blood parrot over here. These are fish that we don't order necessarily. They come out of people's tanks. So that's a good thing in terms of us knowing the health of the fish. So these are some in our larger tanks. Large green severum, beautiful fish. Large flower horn, really cool. Right over here, jaguar cichlid with all his spots. Cool looking fish as well. All of these guys are mean, but if you've got a mean or aggressive tank, these are for you. We got in some exceptional discus yesterday. I want you to come look at this. See if you can see them. Red and white and pigeon blood, large size. The red and whites, the contrast of white and red is absolutely fantastic on these fish. About the size of the palm of my hand. Absolutely beautiful discus. We have some other large discus, but these are new this week. Absolutely beautiful. Also in the freshwater department, we have koi. It is still a little early to start putting them in the pond, but as it's supposed to get warmer faster this year, you just cannot beat butterfly koi and the normal domestic koi, like the Yamabuki ogon, the platinum ogons. These fish, when the sunlight hits them on the top of your pond, that you can see them from across the yard. Absolutely phenomenal. They get very large. They can live a very long time. They get very personable as a fish can get. So koi are back in stock. These are the first of this year. So make sure if you have a pond, you're thinking about the garden already, take some time and come see us here. Take a look at the fish and we can talk about those. Those are the highlights of freshwater. We've still got stuff we're unpacking, and more fish is due on, I think, Friday this week. In fact, I know it is. So we have more fish coming that won't make the video. I like to turn the attention towards saltwater now, and let me show you a couple things we got today. Back in the invertebrate section, we'll start here since we're already here. Check out the leopard wrasses. 3 of them swarming together with the shrimp. This is a beautiful reef fish. I mean, they make such a statement when they come out. I've got a black leopard wrasse as well, right up here. It's not the most colorful fish in terms of pastels and all kinds of different highlighted colors, but the markings on them are fantastic. And when you have a lot of colorful fish, it's nice to have something that's got a lot of geometric patterns and things like that that can just suddenly swim out and boom, hit you. We sold all the tile stars last week. We got mosaic tile stars again this week. I don't know how long we're going to be able to get these, but right now they're available. So if you wanted a tile star last week and we sold out, come see us this week. I have 3 more. So that came in today. We sold all the cool wrasses that we had last week, and we've got some more this week. We have an exquisite fairy wrasses. These are all from the Calabrius wrasse family. They are a fantastic, compatible fish in almost any relaxing reef tank. Right here, the orange back wrasse, stunning, stunning red and mauve face with that pastel orange across the back and trimmed in blue. This is a phenomenal fish. The Formosa wrasse, we did not have this last week. This is a great fish that only gets prettier the larger it gets. Those are some of the highlights back here. We have shrimp back in stock. We have snails back in stock. Feather dusters are back in stock. So if you'll come with me, we'll look at some of the fish that came in, some of the larger fish anyway. Flag-finned angel is new this week. He got a tank all to himself. He actually, for a fish that's been here less than 24 hours, he's very personable. Beautiful, beautiful fish, great weight. I mean, look at the girth of that fish. Not a pinched belly, really nice. We got another Potter's Angel this week. I think it's every bit as pretty, if not prettier, than the one we had last week. Beautiful blue tang again. Navarcus Angel, Euphophopus navarcus. This is one of my favorite angelfish, if not my favorite angelfish. It is probably one of the most reef compatible of the larger angelfish. It's not to say it's 100% reef safe, but they tend to leave things alone the most. We do have a few of them in service that we've had a lot of success with. We even have one in our big 180 reef tank and that we have not had a problem with. So the Navarcus Angel, just tons of color for the money. Flame Angel back in, Centropyge bispinosus, or loriculus, I'm sorry. That's the Flame Angel. Fantastic dwarf angel. It's not going to get very big. For red on a fish, it's the best statement maker for that color. Another Navarcus, slightly larger. We did get in a mimic tang this week. This is a fantastic hardy tang that will go in almost any environment except a really aggressive one. Fox-face rabbitfish, emperor angel. Oh, check this out. It's very, very rare to get, well, let me back up. All the large angelfish, most of the large angelfish go through a color morphing change as they grow. They start out as one color, one type of fish, and they turn into a completely different fish. None more so than the emperor angel. It looks like a blue and white thumbprint when it's a baby, and then it turns into what I'm about to show you. This fish right here that we got is right in the middle of its color change. So it has its juvenile colors and it has its adult colors at the same time. Check out this emperor angel if I can get him out. You can still see the white circles toward the head of him where he is changing from a baby to an adult. And he's got all of his adult markings. And if you go online or compare, take a look at a juvenile emperor angel and compare the juvenile to the adult, you will see that that fish is right in the middle of changing. It's not common for us to get in an angel right in the middle where it's got both color changes. So that is an exceptional color variant of a fantastic fish. A couple sharp clownfish that we got in this week are the flurry clownfish pair right here. Have a very snowy coat to them. The mocha storm clowns right here are just what they say. They're a storm clown, but they have a mocha finish instead of the black that you saw, I think, a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. That rounds out some of the highlight. We have some of the smallest clownfish I have ever seen in my life. These extra small clowns are extra small. So if you have a small tank or a bowl, these clowns might work for you. Briefly going over the Bali corals, we have sold a bunch, but we still have a bunch of torches and hammers from last week. Guys, coral picking, the corals speak for themselves. I could spend another 15 or 20 minutes talking about just the coral selection alone. Every single week, Guy keeps bringing in more corals and making new corals from the cuttings that he's doing. It's like a jewelry store in here every single week, and every single week things are changing. So I would strongly suggest, if you're really into corals, reef tank, come see us. There's just so much to see, and it changes all the time. Wednesday, like every other Wednesday before it, this is kind of what's happened in the last week. There is more stuff coming Thursday, there's more stuff coming on Friday, but this is a good overall view of what's changed since last time we shot the video. So until next Wednesday, when things will have changed again and we'll have new things to bring you, this is Chuck Mayer wishing you a wonderful week and hoping you'll come see us.